So today, I'm happy to say that this video will be not entirely as depressing and sombersome as the Canada reaction, but it was overall, I think, a good performance against what's a very bad team. You can see the possession there. 73% possession, 27% from Honduras. They really only had a couple moments where they looked dangerous in the first half, and those moments were cleaned up pretty well. I remember one being cleaned up by Robbins, and I think Mckinney, Luca del Torre, and Acosta did a very good job tracking back and helping cut out those chances as well. I think Anthony Robbins had some moments being pretty strong defensively as well. But I mean, 16 total shots, 11 chance created largely on set pieces. I'd say about 3 or 4 of them being from the run of play. And 86% pass success, 8 corners. I mean, just so many chances off of set pieces. All 3 goals were from set pieces. Of course, McKinney header to start out. The Walker Zimmerman goal in the end off a set piece as well, and Christian Pulisic again off of a set piece. So set piece merchant certainly. But I do think, more so in the first half, I do think there was more of an urgency to break on that, get on the transition, get numbers forward, and really make things happen. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we had a player who really pushed it in that sense. And Luca del Torre, I mean, he was told by Greg Berhalter now he's going to transition essentially as Christian Roldan and Sebastian Lletget, which is funny, but he really did a good job setting the tempo, running. Just a lot of times he was just winning the ball in his own half, running at the defense. A lot of what you would see from Yunus Musa as well, and just creating chances. Of course, his on the second goal was from him winning a ball, pushing forward, and drawing a foul. And yeah, that's how that second goal came about. And I think we just lacked that urgency in the second match. I don't know, against Canada, there's just none of that urgency to really get numbers forward as well. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that there was no Timothy Weah. I think Timothy Weah is huge for this side. His just ability to run at the defense and the fact that he once again behind is a big deal, because you see a lot of the other guys, Pulisic, Aronson, and I know Reyna will as well be kind of looking to come back to the ball, because they're those types of players. But it's clear we need someone like Timothy Weah to stretch the defense, or else we're not gonna create many chances like we saw against Canada. I think Timothy Weah is a guy at this point he can't be benched. There's no way you can take him off the pitch, in my opinion. He's just so key to being dangerous in reality. I mean, we saw a beautiful combination play between him and Westin Mckinney. I think just the one thing with Timothy Weah is that final product. He's not always finishing those chances or getting that final pass to create a goal. So once he kind of gets that final product on point, he's going to be a very dangerous player, if not one of the best wingers in CONCACAF, honestly. So yeah, that's just, he has to take that next big step, I feel like. But I love what we saw from him. Again, just service wasn't always there, but that combination play with McKinney in the 50th minute was beautiful. And you've seen that with him a few times throughout this window. I mean, the goal he scored against Jamaica was him and Pepe combining really well. And you see that connection between him and Pepe at times as well. And that's, I just feel like that's what we miss when he's not on that pitch. I mean, looking at some other players, we'll go back to Matt Turner. Good job keeping those hands warm, because he didn't have to do anything else. No saves. His distribution, honestly, is improving quite a bit. He obviously had that poor goal kick against Canada, but we can forgive him for that. I mean, at least, it was obviously not the best, but just in strange moment. I think he should have just played out the back rather than hitting that. But we're on to new day. But Reggie Cannon, he was pretty average. I mean, he got forward a lot, but again, just not the best service. Should have gotten a yellow as well. Walker Zimmerman strong in there, obviously scored a goal, and he's always going to be a big threat on those set pieces along with Miles Robinson. He wasn't tested too much. He had one key tackle early on in the first half. Other than that, he didn't really have to do much at all. Anthony Robbins, I thought he had a pretty solid game. He had some good moments going forward. I feel like he picked out passes better in the final third, and some good job connecting as well. So decent game from him. Wasn't just putting in mindless crosses. I think that's something maybe that was talked about. Obviously, his crossing was very poor against Canada, and that's something he certainly needs to continue to try to improve on. But he also had some good moments defensively, especially in the first half. There's quite a few moments in transition in the first half that he did a good job tracking back on, and also winning some duels here and there. Kellen Acosta, obviously, big game. Set piece delivery was incredible. He had another really good pass as well. Good ball over the top to Weah, and that just something we haven't seen too much from him. And he's clearly much better as a 6 than 8, and that's something I feel like we learned today. And Luca de la Torre, I'm very glad to see him get a chance. He was excellent transition. Again, several moments where he won the ball in his own half, drove at the defense, getting into dangerous spots on the ball as well. I feel like he's looking always looking for those spaces to connect to the attack as well. When he does push higher up, he's not just kind of pushing up for no reason. He had a really good ball as well to weigh in the box in the first half, getting into his feet. I feel like he's just a guy who always has the right weight on his passes for the most part. That kind of almost chance he created with Aronson at the end, where he drove at just won the ball again, drove at the defense, and just missed time that pass slightly, and had a good idea as well to Pulisic in the 90th minute. So he just showcases why he should be called up over some of the Berhalter's boys went on legit. He put in some work defensively as well. He tracked back quite a bit, won quite a few duels in the first half. Of course, won the free kick for the second goal. Had a good moment tracking back to cover Robbins on the left as well in the 72nd minute. So he has that ability to track back. He's obviously not a huge guy or anything, but he's going to put work in. He's going to run. His tackling ability really is not bad, to be fair, in general. But Westin Mckinney had a Westin Mckinney match where at his best is when he's just covering all facets of the game. He was everywhere. Obviously great in the air, grabbing the opener. Combination play looked good. Some good moments in transition. Defensively also he had some good moments, especially again in that first half where I think Honduras, they look a little bit more threatening at times. He's saucy. some nice little moments dribbling. 4 dribbles, 2 interceptions, 8 recoveries, 1 key pass, and that's just a very complete game. Created that great chance for Weah that unfortunately wasn't finished. Morris, he was very average. He ran a lot. I think that's just one. We could have used a Conrad de la Fuente probably for those 60 minutes that he played. Ehapi, Yokini, even just a Josh Sargent if we're going to ask him to maybe do some more, tracking back. It is what it is. Berhalter's going to have some of those favorites, but didn't really add too much, but didn't really hurt us as well. Pepe, he missed a half chance in the box. He just really needs to see the ball in the back of the net, especially as a young striker. He needs to get back into form. Strikers can be so hot and cold sometimes. Unfortunately, he couldn't grab a goal here for the sake of the national team moving forward in his club career as well. He did have actually some good moments in transition when given space. I remember one moment in the second half as well, had quite a bit of space. He took it. I think he's getting better carrying the ball and knowing when to release as well. Of course, obviously, he played for a side in FC Dallas where he didn't see much of the ball. So I also feel like it's a thing where we don't really know maybe particularly how amazing he is, how good he can be in moments like that, because he didn't have many moments like that with FC Dallas, and probably won't have too many moments where we'll see him having to carry and make some of these different decisions that he didn't with FC Dallas. He just simply did not see the ball much, and he had center attacking Ferreira playing behind him. So a lot of his work was just trying to get in behind. But if he can continue to improve that aspect of his game and just score a goal to get that confidence up, I think can be huge for him. But of course, Pulisic goal, I think that could be a huge confidence boost off of that set piece. Also, Pepe did technically have the flick on header on the Pulisic goal to help set it up. I think the ball kind of bounced around a little bit more. Also, he just immediately drew out the foul off the bench, did Pulisic, and scored. I really don't mind him being. I just feel like he has to get that confidence up, and I do kind of wish he would have made a move on loan or anything to a club where he'd for sure be playing on the wing for the rest of the season, because I feel like that's really what messes with him, because sometimes he doesn't have that that will, it seems like, the drive at the defense, really be goal dangerous like he always does, always did before with Chelsea and the U.S. men's national team. So I think that maybe in a way that wingback move really has kind of messed a bit with his confidence. But yeah, I feel like it was a decent performance. I still would like to see us be able to create more outside of set pieces, a bit more from open play. I just feel like we haven't seen too many open play goals for the most part. We see them from time to time, but yeah, it's just got to be a lot stronger in those moments. I think there really was just more urgency in this match from everyone to, turn, look forward rather than. I just felt like the team played so passive against Canada, and part of it is the tactics, and also just think there's a moment where players just have to say fuck it and play with some more balls and just go forward, attack, rather than getting into that very slow system of Berhalter ball. But I'll give grades. Matt Turner did a great job warming your hands. You get a 10. Man of the match when it comes to hand warmers. But right back Cannon, I would give him a 6 out of 10. He wasn't particularly amazing. I do think his service and just wasn't good enough at times when he really could have picked out a better pass. Center backs, Walker Zimmerman, we'll give him a very strong in the air. Of course, scored the goal. Didn't really have to do much either. Miles Robinson, 7. Not tested much. Did have a decent tackle, but again, didn't have to do much this game. We had 73% possession. Anthony Robinson, he deserves a 7. Pretty strong game. Decent, on both facets of the game. Kellen Acosta, you got to give him a 9.5 out of 10. I'd say. Yeah, I mean, he did everything he had to do. He had some good moments, with the set pieces, a very good pass to Timothy Weah, strong defensively in the few moments he had to defend. So based off of that, you'd have to give him 9.5. I will give Luca de la Torre, I'll give him an 8.5. Excellent transition. I think we explained why. Westin Mckinney, 9, all over the place, played so well. Timothy Weah, I'm going to give him a 7.5. If he would have finished like a chance or just had one of those crosses he put in be a bit more dangerous, he definitely would have gotten a 9. But it's just that final product there. Pepe, a 6, not completely terrible, but not particularly amazing as well. So he impacted the game in some ways, obviously with the flick on header, but we like to see a bit more from him from time to time. Jordan Morris, give him a 5. He didn't really do much. Pulisic, 8.5. I mean, it was just kind of like a cameo appearance, but obviously scored the goal. He looked dangerous, got himself in good spots. Brendan Aronson didn't really have to do much. I mean, I'll just give him a good sub appearance. Good job running and stuff. But with that, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I actually have an interesting video series I'm going to have for you guys coming. I'm probably going to play some Football Manager using Greg Berhalter's tactics. So as we are going to be in the little wait in between World Cup qualifiers, I think that's something I have to do to just want to keep coasting on this channel, as I've really enjoyed making content here so far. It's obviously not particularly amazing in any way, but there's a lot of people who agree with what I say, and I hope it's useful, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. With that, hit that like button. I love you. I'll be signing out now. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.